Hellos and welcomes back everyone, AnthWolf here with more Pillars of Eternity. We are in the district of Hearthsong in Twin Elms, and we've made our way up to the Celestial Sapling here, the inn of this district. So I thought we'd pop in, have a look around, see what's happening here, and then we'll go speak to, what was her name again? Let's double check. Well, Alari there. But we need to speak to Amanfae Fair Bethril. Hopefully she'll give us permission to explore the other districts. The Glenfarthans don't take jests well. It's dangerous to offend them. We'll bear that in mind. So there's two godlikes here. Let us look into the essence of your soul. You see a man, his eyes hidden behind horn-like growths. His face is broken in despair. His frantic pacing distracts another man who curses and begins his chant once again. The body of a woman lies on a table below, all slack white skin and punctured chest and rounded belly. Life left her body days ago, but the man chants over her husk, spell after oddly rolling spell, until sweat burns through his lashes onto his chin. For a moment her eggshell eyes open, cold and void. The pacing ceases. Her body falls back to the table with a crack, unmoving, and the broken man weeps tears of black from his misshapen face. The men leave. Time passes. The body screams until morning. Oh boy. And you. Nissa Silversmith. You see a woman of fire, twisting and dancing through a horde of skeletal enemies. Arrows stream through the air, but with a twist of her wrist she sends a sheet of fire careening towards the offending archers, incinerating all in its path. She screams, concentration lost as a pike pierces her leg and forces her to the ground. As the skeletons advance she begins to burn brighter, hotter, chanting something between her gritted teeth. She flickers out for a moment, the fire contracting, and then waves of white fire explode from her, destroying everything in their path. The only thing left is the sound of her panting and a pained grunt as she twists the pike from her leg and plants it in the ground to support herself as she gets up. She turns to leave, limping slowly towards the door, but something stops her. A guttural and human whisper weaves its way through the air as a final figure rises up into the air before her, claiming her, beckoning. Against her will she is drawn forward, nose filled with a reek of death and dust. Her face is glazed, unresponsive. She falls at the creature's feet, and something in her comes awake. Eyes burning, she stands once more and stretches out a hand, stroking the skeleton's ivory cheek, turning bone to cinder and ash. She stands there long after it's gone, ashes blowing in some spectral breeze. Something had laid claim to her, and this is not the end of it. Interesting. I'm just going to have a quick sip of tea before we continue. My throat was getting a bit rough here. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Right, let's continue exploring. We've got a frightened villager here who wants to escape. Some Valalian members. The tribes are so spiteful of outsiders, and yet trading with us has improved their lives a great deal. They look very fancy. Highly polished armor, bright colours. We have this individual. Another godlike. Or is it God King? I think it's godlike, the race. I keep forgetting. I wonder if it'll tell us here, actually. No. We can read your soul, though. Camille Witchmare. You see a man browsing through some goods at a stall near the edge of a busy marketplace. This elf is standing against the side of a building nearby. seeming to look off into the distance. Although she gives the appearance of calmness, even nonchalance, her eyes are locked on the man across the street from her. Her gaze never wavers, never leaves him. He finishes browsing and wanders down the street looking from side to side. She waits for him to almost get lost in the crowd and pushes away from the wall and follows him, always keeping her in sight, but never getting close enough to be seen. Eventually he turns down a side street, walking to an opulent residence with a private entrance. She approaches cautiously, watching him as he undoes a series of mystical locks on the door. When he finishes and the door swings open, she steps forward. At the sound, he turns to face her. She looks him in the eyes, and there is an almost imperceptible flash in her gaze, and suddenly he is standing rigid, his eyes glazed. She smiles, extending a hand in greeting, and looks into his house. He takes her hand like someone in a trance, blank face never registering recognition. "I can't wait to see all the goods you're going to give me," she says conversationally, and guides him into the house, glancing over her shoulder to ensure no one is watching them. "Are you an elf?" "I don't think you are, but I could be mistaken. Maybe it is a past life after all." Is there anyone else of interest that we can speak to? We have a lot of monks.
Good day to you.
The monk massages his temples, his face buried in his palm. As you approach, he looks up. "This room needs a proper door. My brothers and I rented this space that we may have some measure of privacy in this foreign land. Perhaps you could find another room here in the inn." I'm just curious, who are you?" "My brothers and I were having a private discussion in a room." "What brings your order to this place? I'm just curious." "We travel where the teachings take us. Not that it's any of your business." "Well, fine then, you grateful sods. Enjoy your private room." Let's see if the barkeep can tell us anything about them. We have another ogre. It's interesting that they have ogres guarding this place. Definitely unusual.
Hello.
A middle-aged elven man stands behind the counter of the inn. He has a warm, open face and smiles pleasantly in greeting as you approach. "Welcome, welcome. I am always glad to see a new face. Take a seat wherever you like, my friend. Seems to me you've walked a long road. All are welcome here, and those with interesting stories are most welcome of all." Who are you?" "My name is Elitherion. They call me Haggard Shoes for all the walking I used to do, and all the boots I wore down. But those days are well behind me. My eyes have seen a great deal, and now my ears get their fill from the travellers who come through here. I'm always glad to see a new face. Can you tell me about this place?" "Of course. I founded the inn many years ago, but in many ways its tale begins much earlier. It was while I was returning from a long journey south that I first heard the story of a tree upon which this inn rests. Hundreds of years ago, a strange event occurred. The sky was troubled that night, with many stars falling across the sky, and one of those same stars began to plummet, instead towards the aurora. It fell here, striking a young tree and burying itself within it like a fiery heart. But the tree survived, and over the years it grew, and grew, twice as big as its fellows in half the time, until it reached the size you see now, and then grew no more. Hearing the tale, I knew I must find the truth. And you see it there. Around the tree's heart I built this inn, to welcome all travellers who might look upon it." So, an unusual stone pulses with warmth. So this is the meteor. Huh. Interesting.
Greetings.
Can I see what you have for sale? We have nothing to sell you, but we can certainly look around. The Duke's own beef loaf. Oh. Spirit spiral? Oh, these are like braces. For only 2,000 copper? Grants Whisper of Treason. I think that's a cipher ability. Yeah, sure, we'll take that. We could hire some more adventurers if we wanted, but we won't. Ooh, the Celestial Suite. We'll have to remember this. Wasn't there another suite somewhere that had a really good bonus? The Dragon Dracogen in Deerfoot Village. That had a really good bonus as well. Continue exploring for the moment. Have a moment. I'd like to have a word with you. Ah, someone's actually wanted to speak to myself. A slender woman in dusty leathers locks eyes with you. It's good to see someone from more civilized lands around here. Her unkept hair sprouts in wavy black tufts. Despite the fine features of that sculpt her face, a cleft chin completes her boyish appearance. I'm learning firsthand the many shortcomings of Glenfarthine hospitality. I can almost forgive the hostility towards outsiders, but the temperate taverns and these watered-down drinks, inexcusable. I hope I don't seem too forward, but I've heard of you. You're famed among the dozens, and that makes us allies. And allies, well, they help each other, do they not? Who are you? She pats the dust off her leggings and gives you an exaggerated curtsy. Where did I leave my ambassadorial manners? I am Sir Winif. Pleasure to meet you. For the time being, though, I'm just another outsider minding her own business. And what exactly did you need help with? My friends have drawn some unwanted attention. Glenfarthine scouts, and not just any mob of local zealots, the Fangs. The Fangs are a brutal, relentless bunch, eager to make an example of troublesome outsiders. As for why I need your help, I need someone to warn the expedition that trouble is coming, and I need someone ready to fight if it comes to that. With any luck, I'll reach my friends before the Fangs do, but if not, the Fangs have a reputation to uphold, so this might require some spilling blood. Why aren't you with the rest of your friends? Why not warn them yourself? Her posture stiffens. It was my turn to handle far patrol. I spotted the Fangs on my trek back to the camp. I knew that rejoining the main group would risk leading the enemy right back to the expedition. I know the woods and I know how to stay quiet, but I didn't want to stake my friends' lives on my ability to sneak past expert hunters like the Fangs. If they noticed me warning my friends, we'd be overrun. But if they noticed me and some reinforcements, say you for instance, well, at least then we can scare them off or put up a good fight. So how did your companions draw their attention? Just setting foot in Earglenfaith is a good way to offend the tribes. I don't know how they picked up our trail. I suspect one of the newer scouts didn't cover his tracks well enough. When we spotted the Fangs, they were retracing a path the expedition had taken days before. What can you tell me about your expedition? What is it searching for? I like to think we're on a mission of reclamation. It is said that our armies left behind many valuables on a hasty retreat from Earglenfaith at the end of the War of Black Trees. So the way I see it, we're simply gathering up what our ancestors left behind. I doubt the Glenfarthines agree with me on this. My expedition set out from Defiance Bay, heading directly east to cross Glenfarthine lands. I split off once we arrived at the Bale, the natural frontier between our nations. The plan was for me to keep my eyes on the Glenfarthines while the main group scoured the target area. For days we eluded them, but the Fangs got wise to our presence. Yeah, I was waiting for that answer to maybe come up. To be fair, if you're in their territory and kinda looting, they would be considered criminals. She frowns and blinks. You'll forgive me if I'm not sympathetic with face painters and their barbaric laws. I'm not pretending that what we're doing is noble, but I don't believe trespassing is a crime that warrants execution. I'm busy, perhaps another time. But time is of the... I understand your apprehension, but I hope you'll reconsider. So yeah, we could go assist. I think it might be a terrible idea, but at the same time it could be worth some experience for us. Do we get in trouble for lockpicking? I don't think we do.
A simple test.
Some more books. We should probably take the quest regardless. Not only because it'd probably be interesting. The one thing I want not to happen is to get a bad reputation with the Twin Elms people. I want to try and avoid that. Just because having a high reputation with them may open some more doors for us. Anyhow, as we can peer into Gaius Fire Main's soul. Can we see what race you are? I think you're just part of the Kith. You see a young red-headed boy, almost but not quite a man, stalking the steps of a panther, an ugly curved dagger in his hand. The panther treads lightly, jumping from rock to rock, unconcerned by the danger behind him. He bounds up a tree and turns his green-slit eyes on the child, and you could swear he would be laughing if he could. A flash of black fur and the panther is gone, and the boy's thoughts littered with curses and self-doubt. The boy moves on, walking for days hunting for something he never seems to find. He sleeps only in fits, a few hours at a time before he continues, exhausted and starving. Another day passes and he kills a rabbit, its huge brown eyes almost entranced as the boy slits its throat from ear to ear and begins to eat it raw. He rinses it as the tough meat goes down. How do you say this word again? Collated with blood. Coagulated blood running down his chin. There you go. Covered in drying blood and fatigue, he falls asleep beneath a nearby outcropping of rock. Determined to continue the hunt when he awakes. He does not have to wait long. A snuffling in the undergrowth nearby and his eyes are instantly open, his small hand on the blade. The great black bear sizes him up, almost triple his size, and goes back to foraging. The boy grasps his dagger, knuckles white and his breath in short, nervous gasps. It takes almost a full day before it is done and he collapses, arm dangling limply from his side. He calls hoarsely, voice feeble. 3 men come out from behind the outcropping, swollen with pride. No longer a boy, this young man begins to skin the bear with their help. Impressive. Well, quick save, because this person, we don't have to peer into his soul, but he might have something to say. Maybe it's a she. By the name... Oh, we have nothing to say to me. Fine. We'll help warn your expedition. Excellent, I knew I could count on you. Assuming the Fangs didn't already get them, my friend should be at or around the Pilgrim's Trail in the North World. The plan was to camp along a trail leading to the Temple of Halia. Find my comrades, warn them the Fangs are coming, and help them clear out the forest. I'll head out first on my own to see if I can't lead the Fangs astray and buy us some time. If the gods smile on us, we won't have to draw steel. Should it come to that, I'm glad you're on our side. The North Wall, oh. Holy hell. I don't even think we can reach that far. We'd have to leave from Old Song. I don't think we can go from Deerford Crossing either. Interesting. So look at this mission. At the mercy of the tribes. Sinwith, a Dyrodian scout, has come to Twin Elms to find help for her friends, who are on an expedition to recover lost artifacts. While the group hasn't been directly confronted by the Glanforthans yet, while the scout was on patrol, she's discovered the local sentries had already caught scent of the expedition. She's asked me to warn her mercenary companions about the impending danger while she attempts to thwart the scouting efforts. She's asked me to warn the expedition. I'm to find the expedition at the North Weald, by the side of the path leading to Helia's temple. So I'm guessing Helia's temple might be here then. Very well. Let's rest up.
Hail, traveler.
I'd like a room, please. What I've also considered doing is actually switching out one of my party members for a little while. Alof, maybe? I was telling... actually, no. I was telling to put Palagina in the party to do her storyline quest. I'll consider it to get the experience. Oh, we've paid our hirelings today. Have another sip of tea. So we need to continue exploring the Hearthsong district. And then we need to go into the central building and speak to one of their tribe leaders, I think they are. Oh, some lockpicks. Don't mind if I do. Some buildings have seen better days. Trying to remember what other districts are. Elms reach an old song. One of them's for kind of their druids, the other one's where their temples are? Maybe? I think. Can't rightly remember. Yeah, I think we've discovered everywhere. We'll go back to the market quickly for one of the side quests. Need to talk to the lady who's dealing with all the the potion ingredients. See what she has to say about the situation and cheating someone. Oh, she's disappeared. A young girl looks about the marker with a disinterested gaze. As you near, she snaps to your attention and straightens her posture. Welcome, stranger. Alari's not here, so I'm one to shop while she's away. If you're looking for herbs, tinctures, oils, or ointments, then I've got everything you'll ever need. I'm looking for Alari. Do you know where I might find her? She lives not far up from here. She points to the exit out the market. Climb up the stairs and at the top there's a circle of ruins. Do you know it? It's on the north side of Hearthsong. Anyway, her house is right there. The door faces those ruins. Thank you. Then we'll go investigate. I wonder if we could cheat Haggle, the young woman there. So there's two dwellings here. I don't know which one they mean. But we can try both. That's fine. But probably only get told off if we walk into the wrong house. Let's do a quick save. We probably want to visit both anyway. Oh, great. Let's save, shall we? Actually.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes?
You're... Hmm?
Huh?
I don't want to be violent, but if things happen the way they do... Laurie stands tall and proud, surrounded by Glenfarthine warriors as that study your every move. I expected Renato would employ someone on his behalf. I am surprised to see that it's you doing his bidding. Does the presence of my armed entourage concern you? You were expecting a defenseless shopkeeper, am I right? One of the guards begins to lurch forward. Give the outsider a chance to speak. We are not Dyrodian beasts. Here hospitality reigns. Alahari nods to you, holding up an open hand, her palm and fingers covered in blue and green dye. Envoy of the Valalians, speak the message you were sent to deliver. I want to hear your side of the story. The first step of any sensible path. Renato did purchase from me several bushels of Elardif Gola, and for it he paid a high price, but did so willingly, seeing it was a bargain right as he handed me his copper. It was after our fair trade that the Valalian spit his venom. Renato accused me of trickery, of fraud, claiming I delivered withered likenesses, but not the genuine root. Such nerve, for in truth he is beyond the help of the Elardif Gola. Renato's old bow isn't firm enough for a full draw. No amount of the herb will give him the spear of a young hunter. Oh, I see. It's that kind of herb, is it? A fair deal was made, and now Renato objects, angry that his wizard family plough is beyond herbal remedies. I have never sold anyone a remedy I knew to be false. If Renato does not silence his slanderous tongue, we will do it for him. What kind of punishment did you have in mind? Renato has slandered his host, making him no longer a guest. The merchant must vanish from Twin Elms. Glenfarthine hospitality must be observed. He is to be given a chance to leave on his feet before he bleeds on his back. Deliver on our name or warning. We needed to have positive 4 with Twin Elms to get that requirement. Holy hell. Tell Renato that if he does not leave, he will be accused of conspiring to pilfer Ingrifian relics from our land. He won't risk a trial by the Council of Amanfartha. She draws a small wooden cage from the folds of her robe. If he won't listen, tell him that his faulty member will end in a cage, just like this black beetle. Food for the birds. Yeah. We'll deliver the message. That could be awkward. So, basically Glenfarthine Viagra. Wonderful. Well, we'll go tell him the good news. I'm sure he'll be pleased. Let us quick save.
Greetings.
Renato smiles broadly and throws his arms in the air at your arrival. My friend, welcome back. Have you recovered my coin? Alari gave me this beetle in a cage for you. She said your problem would end in the same place if you would continue your stay in Twin Elms. Renato's face turns bright at the sight of the gift. Insufferable witch. She can serve that beetle in a fetid mating hole. Gesticulating with every word, spit flies from Renato's mouth as his voice grows louder. Her and her face-painted folks will pay for this insult. He reaches out to strike the cage out of your hands. We'll ignore his feeble attack. You step into Renato's punch. The merchant's fist strikes your solid body with the cracking of finger bones. Filthy savage animals, this damn city will burn. I'll kill you. Renato's voice gurgles mid-sentence. The tip of an arrow gleaming red protrudes from his throat. The merchant quivers in a quick spasm, flailing his arms. He drops to his knees, splurts of blood flowing down his chest. You look up and notice a Glenfarthran archer approaching the scene. It is not our custom to tolerate squabbles between outsiders. I'm sure you understand. Wonderful. An exceptional blunderbuss was on his person. Oh, we have a tiny beetle pet now. Durance, there you go. I'm sure Mogren would love to bless that as well, wouldn't she? Oh well, that was an awkward side quest. Yeah, apparently we needed a positive score of 4 to somehow choose another dialogue option. Like a positive 4 reputation with Twin Elms, I should say. Which is a bit ridiculous. We've been going for half an hour. Yeah, we'll end this episode here. We did a fair bit. We explored, obviously, the Celestial Sapling. We did one of the side quests, and when we come back, we'll enter the Passage of the Six and speak to the Glenfarthran, well, one of the Glenfarthran leaders, about maybe getting permission to pop ourselves into the rest of their districts. We probably will have to do something for her first, but we'll see what's said. So, this is AnthWolf, and this is the continuation of Pillars of Eternity. Feel free to let me know what you think as always, and I will see you for more in the next video. Until then, bye bye now.